Cup of English podcast for Paul and Lily.
I have a question. What if I told you that you could improve your English while you sleep? Just lying there, doing nothing, improving.
Welcome, everyone, to a Cup of English podcast. I'm Lily.
And I'm Paul. And before you think this is too good to be true, it is slightly too good to be true, but only slightly, because your brain does something extraordinary while you sleep. And today, we talk about what that is and how to use it for your English. Let's go. Right. So, what actually happens to your brain when you sleep? Because most people think sleep is just off. Brain stops, body rests, nothing happens. But this is completely wrong.
While you sleep, your brain is actually incredibly busy. It takes everything you learned during the day and it organizes it. It moves information from short-term memory to long-term memory. It makes connections between new things and old things.
Short-term memory. Things you just learned, things you just heard. They are in your brain but not safely stored yet. Long-term memory. Things that are stored deeply and permanently. Things you will remember for years.
And sleep is the process that moves information from one to the other. So if you learn new English words during the day and then you sleep, those words move into long-term memory while you sleep, without you doing anything.
Which means, and this is the important part, what you do right before you sleep matters enormously for how much you remember the next day.
This actually explains something that happened to me in college. I was studying Spanish, as we've mentioned before, and I had an exam on a Monday morning. And on Sunday night, I did two things. I studied for 3 hours in the afternoon, and then, in the evening, I went to a party with my friends.
A party the night before an exam?
A party! And I came home quite late, went to sleep, woke up for the exam, and I remembered everything. Every single word I had studied, better than any exam I had studied harder for.
Because you studied, and then you slept, and your brain had all night to store everything.
Exactly. I told my professor, and she said, yes, that is how memory works. And I thought, why did nobody tell me this before? I could have been going to parties before every exam.
That is a very specific lesson to take from neuroscience.
The party was incidental. The sleep was the important part. Okay, vocabulary. To memorize, to learn something so well that you remember it completely. I memorized 50 new English words. To retain, to keep information in your memory. I find it hard to retain new vocabulary. And repetition, doing or seeing something many times so it stays in your memory. Repetition is key to learning a language.
Right. So what should you do before sleep to improve your English? First tip, review new words before bed. Just 5 minutes. Look at any new English words you learned that day. Read them, say them out loud, think about what they mean.
You don't need to study them deeply. Just look at them one more time. That second look before sleep is enough to send a signal to your brain. This is important. Please store this.
Scientists call this spaced repetition. You see a word, then you see it again a little later, then again, and each time it goes deeper into your memory.
I have a word memorizing story. When I was seriously trying to improve my Spanish, I had a system. I wrote new words on small pieces of paper and I stuck them everywhere in my flat. On the fridge, on the mirror, on the kettle.
On the kettle?
On the kettle! You look at the kettle every morning. Why not learn a word at the same time?
That is actually very clever.
Thank you. And before bed, I walked around the flat and read every single word out loud, like a little tour. Fridge, nevera. Mirror, espejo. Kettle, hervidor.
A bedtime vocabulary tour of your own home.
Every night. And it worked. I remembered those words permanently. But there was a problem.
Of course there was.
My roommate, the same roommate who found me narrating my morning, came over one evening and I forgot to take the papers down. And she walked around my flat reading all the Spanish words on everything and said, "Lily, why does your microwave say microondas?"
Why does your microwave say microondas?
And I explained my system, and she looked at me very seriously and said, "I'm going to need you to take these down before my boyfriend comes over. He already thinks you're a little unusual."
A little unusual. From the woman who found you narrating your kitchen like a documentary.
I had a reputation in that flat. Okay, second tip for learning English before sleep. Listen to English as you fall asleep. A podcast, an audiobook, something calm and interesting.
Now, this is a real technique, but it works in a specific way. You are not going to understand everything, and that is completely fine. What you are doing is training your ear, getting used to the sounds, the rhythm, the music of English.
The rhythm of English, the natural flow and beat of how English sounds. Every language has its own rhythm, and the more you listen, the more natural English rhythm feels to you.
And listening to English as you fall asleep also does something wonderful. It means the last thing your brain hears before sleep is English, and your brain takes that with it into the night.
I did this for 3 months once. Every night, English podcast as I fell asleep. And after about 6 weeks, I noticed something strange.
What?
I started dreaming in English.
Dreaming in English.
Full dreams in English with English conversations. And I would wake up and think, did I just dream in English? And the answer was yes. My sleeping brain had switched languages.
That is actually a well-known sign that a language is becoming part of you. When you dream in it, it is inside you.
It felt like a superpower, honestly. Very strange, but very exciting. Okay, to drift off, to slowly fall asleep. I drift off listening to English every night. Beautiful expression. Background audio. Sound playing quietly while you do something else or sleep. I play English as background audio. And to train your ear. To practice listening so you understand English better and faster. Listening every day trains your ear.
Third tip, and this is the one most people don't think about. Your morning, specifically the first 5 minutes after you wake up.
Wait, we are talking about sleep, and now we are talking about morning?
Because the moments just after you wake up are almost as important as the moments before sleep. Your brain is still in a very relaxed, open state. It is still close to the sleeping state, and in this state, it absorbs things very easily.
I did not know this. What should you do in those first 5 minutes?
Don't check your phone. We know this from our phone episode. Instead, think about something in English. A word, a phrase, something you want to remember. Just one thing. In those first hazy minutes, your brain is especially good at taking things in.
Hazy. Not completely clear. A little foggy. I felt hazy when I first woke up. Beautiful word. And this connects to something I tried last year. I recorded a voice message to myself in English the night before. Just 2 minutes, describing my plans for the next day. and I listened to it first thing in the morning before getting up.
That is a wonderful idea.
And it did two things. It woke my English brain up before my day started, and it reminded me of my plans, so I felt organized immediately.
2 benefits for 2 minutes of work.
The most efficient 2 minutes of my day. I have a problem with it, though.
What happened?
One morning, I played the voice message, and my voice sounded completely different to how I think I sound. You know that thing where you hear a recording of yourself, and you think, is that really me? I sound like that?
Everyone has this experience.
I sat there listening and thinking, I sound so strange. Is that my real voice? And I played it again. And again. And I spent 20 minutes just listening to my own voice, being horrified by it instead of absorbing English.
Your English learning technique turned into an existential crisis about your own voice.
20 minutes, gone, just sitting in bed going, do I really sound like that? And the answer, apparently, is yes, that is my voice. I have accepted it now. Mostly.
Mostly. Okay, last vocabulary. To process. When your brain takes information and stores it deeply, your brain processes language while you sleep. Subconscious. The part of your mind that works without you knowing. Your subconscious absorbs language even while you sleep. Great word. And to wake up refreshed, to feel good and full of energy after sleep. I wake up refreshed when I sleep well. Right, the simple version of everything we talked about. Before sleep, review 5 new English words. Listen to English as you fall asleep. In the morning, think 1 English thought before you check your phone. 3 small things, that is all.
And your brain does the rest. While you sleep. For free. Every night.
The most efficient English teacher you will ever have, and it is already inside your head.
And it doesn't even charge by the hour.
Completely free, available every night. Your challenge today. Tonight, before you sleep, learn 5 new English words. Just 5. Write them in the comments if you want. We would love to see what you chose.
And subscribe to A Cup of English podcast. Free. New episodes every day. We are so grateful you are here.
Cheerio, everyone.
Bye, guys.